Recently, our community has had to endure a couple teenage suicides, one of which impacted the Enumclaw School District. I attended the service for the young man recently and was struck by the comments and the wisdom shared by family members and community members about the topic. I think you're going to see in this video many incredible comments about how we as a community can step forward and as we wrestle the topic of suicide.
Good morning, friends, and welcome to this memorial service for Kione. May I invite you, before we do anything else, to look around and realize what a testimony we are to a much loved life. If you're ever tempted to think that your life doesn't matter, that people don't know who you are, that people don't love you, that people don't value you, look around at this gathering this morning. Friends, I want you to know that we will heal from this. We will grow from this. We will learn how to love one another better. And we'll learn how to make ourselves open to one another's love even better. That's what Kione wants. Right now in this moment, he wishes he could take back what happened. And he wishes that because he sees more clearly now than he ever has. And he wants you to understand that the choice that he made is not one that he would want for any of us, and not one that brought about the end that he hoped. And that this life is here for us to learn that we matter too much to be overcome in the way that Kione was last Sunday.
When I sat there listening to them, my thought was, how do we bring this conversation beyond the sanctuary where this funeral was occurring to a greater conversation within our community and within our school district? Because I think the topic of suicide is one that is often not talked about. It's one that maybe is whispered about but not openly talked about. And I believe if we're going to become a healthier community and a healthier school district, it's one in which we do need to bring forward as a topic of conversation.
A friend shared something with me recently that didn't make me really feel better, but gave me some peace in that the reflection rang true to me, and that, like, I don't know that I'm gonna, and I think some of you feel the same as I do, I don't know that I'm gonna completely heal from this. I'm never gonna completely get over this, but we will be whole again. I promise you that. We're not gonna forget this loss. We're gonna rebuild our lives around it. And we're gonna keep that light, and we're gonna keep that love and those memories in our hearts as we rebuild our lives around it. That's what we do.
It's so easy to tell your kid that's 3, 2, 4, 5 that you love them. But as a teenager, when they get older, I can't tell you the last time I told my son I loved him. So all I could say is, remember to tell your kids that you love them. I also want to say that if you guys are hurting, suicide is not a solution to the problem. Sometimes you might have the worst day of your life, but guess what? The next day could be the best day of your life. Our jobs as parents is to help our kids build a foundation. And it's up to them to build whatever they want on that foundation. But it's our jobs as parents is to guide them.
I can't imagine what those family members have gone through. And what I watched was this outpouring of love and support in the moment. I watched this community come together around horrific tragedies such as this one. What I challenge us all to be a part of is an initiative to bring forward this conversation in a proactive way that we might help save lives before we end up going to another service for an individual that died by suicide.
I need to do my duties here as a dad, as a friend, as a coach, as a role model. So please don't be mad at me. I want to be there with you, son. I swear to you, I want to be there. But I will see you. I promise you. I love you so much. You'll always be my baby. Thank you.
It was those things that overcame Kione here on earth, the invisible things. As I said, we live in a world that pretends that courage comes from beer, and that happiness comes from partying, and that freedom comes from doing whatever you want. It's a great big commercial, and it's a lie. Let me ask you this morning as we get ready to close, what's happening in the invisible parts of you? What's happening in the invisible parts of your friends and family? Today, Kione's last message to us would be to open those parts of ourselves to one another. To be honest when we're feeling overwhelmed. To be willing to be there when somebody else is feeling overwhelmed. That's what we wish we could have done for Kione. That's what we need to do for one another.
Here's what I can tell all of you about the Enumclaw School District. We have 550 employees. Each one of them are hired because they care deeply about all of our students. If you have specific needs for your child that you would like to talk about, I would encourage you to outreach to your building principal or to your counselor within your schools. I wish with my whole heart and soul that I never have to attend a service for a student who died by suicide. And I challenge each of us to lean into this conversation, to step into this conversation so we can do some good in our community and help support our kids.